TIFU by almost ripping a door off its frame in an escape room. We did an escape room today which involved a door puzzle. You had to turn the gears on the door a certain way. When we were following the instructions and nothing was happening, I noticed a bolt sticking out of place in the door hinge. When I saw how easy these were to remove, I assumed they were a prop and weren't an actual part of the door. Only the top one was impossible to remove. We thought that maybe they had some use in the next room, and half-joked that we accidentally committed property damage. We managed to solve the escape room and an employee walked through the door to congratulate us. Being that we ended up not using those bolts, I asked about them. The employee proceeds to stare at me in disbelief for what felt like a minute. He then told us that they were in fact not part of the puzzle and that the door could have fallen off. TLDR, I mistook an actual part of an escape room for a prop, and could have had a door fall on me. I am probably blacklisted now. I have a similar story. We did an escape room in Budapest. It was like an Aztec, Indiana Jones type thing. The guy tells us before we start that when we unlock the door, there is no clue. It's just unlocked and we have to pull it hard to open it. We immediately identified the door. It was a sarcophagus thingy. We did all sorts of puzzles and checked the door after every puzzle. It kind of nudged a bit, but I wasn't sure if it was unlocked. After lots of puzzles, we were stuck and asked for a hint. The guy said that the door was unlocked now. I ran over and pulled the door sarcophagus as hard as I could, and it fell loose and off the wall, and there was nothing behind it. Just some screws that I had ripped out of the wall. I was pretty embarrassed when I found the actual door another place. Just discovered an alternative solution. Their poor construction isn't your fault. I wonder how often this sort of thing happens. It's hard to blame customers for incidental damage when they encourage those to poke and prod at anything remotely out of place. Lol, yeah, you couldn't remove the top hinge because the weight of the door was resting on it. Honestly, it's a good thing you told them so they can customer-proof better. The last time I went to one, there were a ton of little signs to indicate that something wasn't a part of the game. Improvise, adapt, overcome. This is surprisingly common with escape rooms. It must happen tons at the most popular one in my city, as they rooms are littered with little signs saying don't touch, this is not part of the experience, etc., etc., which probably helps with these problems but unfortunately can impact the vibe of the room. I chatted with an escape room team making small talk, and they said it's common for people to try to unscrew the power points and other highly dangerous things. Not your fault, and they are supposed to be watching on cameras for this stuff. The best thing about puzzles is you have to think outside the box, so people need to be encouraged to try anything but be safe. It's not your fault fully. The game master should have been watching the cameras or listening to you speak. Though, in general, it's good to ask if something seems a bit off from the rest of the game's logic and flow. My first ever escape room. 4 of us got handcuffed to the legs of a bed. Had to find a key. My ADHD ass go distracted for 7 minutes unscrewing stuff on the bottom of a table. Turns out the table just falls once all 4 screws are out. No use. I did an escape room with my cousin and her BF at the time. Her BF was this jacked bodybuilder dude. The escape room started with us being handcuffed to a table or something, and we were supposed to find a key or something to get out. As a joke, he yanked on the handcuffs and ended up snapping the chain. You eat cream puffs by any chance? We did one in Munich and the guy said that nobody ever does it without clues. After about 20 minutes, we found out that the reason for that was because he gave them out over the tannoy. We also picked a small padlock with a paperclip, but were told that they was verboten, and you cannot win the game if you have broken the rules. Wow, that's quite a close call. Good thing the door didn't actually fall off. Lesson learned. Never underestimate the power of a bolt. That's why I've always refused to participate to escape room games. I always imagine the worst case scenario where I mistake a real structural part for part of the game and commit real property damage, which causes the owner to sue me.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.